Okay, everybody, welcome to Brett Davis Unleashed. I'm Brett Davis, coming to you from IQ Podcast at Attorney King Studios in beautiful Coronado, California. I have a special guest who I've been wanting to interview for a while now. We've bumped to each other. I think last time we saw each other was at the Mr. Olympia maybe a year ago. Terri Marie.
Hi guys, how is everybody today?
How are you doing?
I'm surviving. I'm getting a little antsy.
Right.
I was going to be preparing to do a fitness show. Actually, I was going to do Culver City in May. I got a trainer. I was ready to get back on stage, and then this kind of stuff hit. I'm also a co-host on a show called Movies Review and More. So we're actually going to be doing similar situation, doing podcasts now since we can't do any red carpet interviewing. So it's an interesting time. But I'm kind of a jack of a lot of trades. So I also have a corporate sales job. So fortunately, since I'm in healthcare tech, that hasn't been affected at all. But as far as daily life, yeah, it's kind of getting a little monotonous, and I just kind of, like everybody else, would like to have my life back, you know?
I think everybody would. You've always been physically, on top of your game. Let's get a little bit of history about how you started in fitness and what you've done. How did you start in fitness?
Oh gosh, well, I've been athletic my whole life. I was a swim team in high school. I was a cheerleader in high school. I started working out at the gym at the age of 18. I didn't really start getting on stage until 2014. Did my first show and I won Muscle Beach, which was crazy because it was the very first show that I did.
Wow.
And I placed in my class, which was medium height, first place. And then being over 40, it was kind of cool because a lot of the girls that were like in their 20s, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Well, you don't, I've met you in person. You do not look your age at all. You do a really good job. You can see you take care of yourself.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with just, being balanced as far as eating healthy and training. And like every other woman, I probably have help with, Botox here and there, but basically it has to do with my diet and a lot of water. And skincare is important too. It's like, I've always tried to keep my face out of the sun and wear sunscreen. And I think that's attributed to a lot of my face not, wrinkling. Because I like to be in the sun, but I've always worn a hat or sunscreen.
You look great. What area did you grow up in?
I grew up in Sherman Oaks, California. And then when I went to college, I went to Long Beach State. So I left the Valley and then was in, I was in Long Beach, then I was in Newport Beach, then Manhattan Beach. Now I'm in Redondo Beach. So,
you're a Southern California girl.
Yep, raised and born. Yeah, been here my whole life. This is what's driving me crazy about this coronavirus thing is that the beaches are closed in LA, and I live 2 blocks from the beach. I know it's a little bit different in Orange County, but here it's making it difficult because the gyms are closed. So I'm having to change my workouts up. So I'm trying to do a lot more HIIT, which is kind of challenging me because I've been lifting heavy weights. But since they have the beach closed, everybody's just running on the other side of the street. So to me, it doesn't make any sense. I think maybe they should keep the parking lots closed, but let people use the sidewalk on the beach and maybe work out on the beach. But it's just a cluster mess down there right now.
Right. I know what your feeling is.
Yeah.
Did you do some modeling before also? Have you been in some magazines?
Yeah, I was in Rob Sims' Fit Beauties. And I was Playboy Golf Girl.
So you were in Playboy before?
Was a golf girl. So I wasn't actually in the magazine, but I just did promotional stuff for Playboy. And then I was a Trashy Lingerie Girl, did the promotional stuff for them. And Tease and Bikini. I've done photo shoots for them. So I've, had a modeling career in fitness before I started getting on stage. But hopefully when all this stuff calms down, I'll be back on stage and be back into modeling and all that again.
Yeah. So, the thing that's nice about the times that we're in, there was a period of time where even myself, people would say you're a certain age, you can't do this, you can't do that. That doesn't seem to be the case anymore, does it?
No, it doesn't. And you can look at J-Lo right there as well, so she's up there on a server pole at 50. Again, it's just women are looking better. They're taking better care of themselves. And that's the kind of the message that I would like to give. As long as you're here, it's like, why give up on fitness and health, and then not only do you look better, but your life expectancy is going to be longer if you're taking care of yourself.
And you actually, it has a huge effect on your mental part.
Oh, I kind of lost my cuckoos when they closed the gym. And I mean, I'm an Equinox member, so they were going crazy as far as like cleaning. They had a little guy running around and cleaning when this first went down, but I mean, there was no way that they were going to be able to stay open because, you know, all the gyms have different standards. But I will say to Equinox, so I mean, I did feel very kind of safe there because they're so good on cleanliness.
Sure.
But again, you know, there's something I can do, like all gyms are closed. But what's kind of crazy though is you're seeing clubs like 24-hour fitness going into bankruptcy. And I don't know what's going to happen to some of these health clubs, especially the smaller fitness gym owners, you know, losing their everything, you know, they work for. Because who would ever think that the fitness industry, being as big as it would, be hit like this?
Well, the thing that's interesting is the vitamin shops are open, and I guess the call that we had earlier before you came on, Colorado is governor wants to shut all the vitamin stores down.
Well, that's crazy. I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, fitness is an essential. Vitamins are essential. Eating healthy is essential. I mean, I know they closed the farmers markets down in a lot of the area. Well, they think they did everywhere. I'm not sure in San Diego, but I know in LA they did. But the problem with the farmers market is that everybody was still on top of each other there, and they weren't social distancing.
Right.
So, and I think it's the same thing with the beach, is that there's just some people that just were not really playing by the rules, and it kind of ruined it for everybody else.
So I don't know if you've been to Coronado, California, and San Diego. Have you been to Coronado?
Yes, I have. Mm-hmm. I have a really good friend who lives down there.
So my office is right not too far from the Hotel Del.
Uh-huh.
The mayor here is a very young mayor. He's very healthy, and he's taking some heat because he's telling everybody, look, nobody on the beach, but if you want to run and you want to bike and you want to exercise away from whatever you're doing, as long as you're not getting in crowds, stay away from each other. He says you need the sunlight, you need to breathe air, you need to. So there's a lot of people that are here running and exercising. They're not wearing their mask. Some cities are actually ticketing if you're out walking around without a mask, or they see you even exercising.
Yeah, I heard that. For me, I am wearing a mask when I'm running, but I have asthma. So I'm kind of in that population where it's got to be a little bit more careful, but I don't put that on other people. I mean, for me, it's just for my own protection. I get it. You know, if you're in a store, you should be wearing the mask because the virus is going to stay there longer. But in natural sunlight, it's going to dissipate faster. But again, it's just somebody like me, I got to be a little bit more careful. But I think they've gone a little bit overboard with some of the mandates that they put on us. I almost feel like it's like a police state. It's just ridiculous, you know.
So you're involved with health and fitness. You're also have a connection to the medical community. Based on everything that's going on, do you see this thing speeding up where we're going to get back to normal? How long do you think it's going to take?
I don't know. Again, I work with orthopedic surgeons, and what's happening with them is that all their cases are being postponed in LA, most till June, which, you know, hospitals here are losing money. These doctors are losing money, and nurses are getting laid off because there's no work for them, because, you know, orthopedic surgeon is not going to go deal with coronavirus. So to me, I think Newsom said that he was going to start letting those surgeries start happening again. But I don't know. I mean, who is it to say what kind of surgery is a necessity and what's not? You know, if you break your foot and you don't have it set right, that's going to cause problems, you know, if you're waiting for that surgery. So, but
right. I've also heard in some countries that, and even in this country, there was a concern that this thing was going to really back up the hospitals, and that there wasn't enough rooms, there wasn't enough doctors, and even some people might have to come out of retirement.
That's not the case.
It's not happening, right?
No. I had some issues with my asthma right when this thing started, and they wouldn't even let me come in to get a chest x-ray. They just said, you know, just here, take a Z-Pack, stay home. They didn't, because I'm at risk, they didn't want me in the hospital or anywhere near a hospital. So again, like a lot of people's routine screenings are getting put off for, you know, breast cancer and those things too, which to me can cause problems. So hopefully, you know, things get loosened up. I think they are. but it's just a mess. And I don't think anybody knows when California is going to open.
No, I don't think so either. I think it's a wait and see thing. We're such a big state. What do you have, 40 million people that live here?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
do you see a correlation between people with immune challenges and this disease?
Well, definitely. I mean, definitely the older population is the ones that are being affected more. I do have an acquaintance I do know that lives in South Bay that has asthma, that said it was horrible, but got through it and lived through it and was a survivor. It's just too bad that the media doesn't talk about those people. But again, this was of somebody that had controlled asthma like I do. So
I wonder why we're not hearing more about natural prevention with any of this and immune system building, and why aren't we hearing more of those stories?
I don't know. I mean, I personally have been taking vitamin D, vitamin C, and zinc every day, because those are things that fight flu. I mean, I take them anyway, but I've upped that. I've also been taking probiotics. I'm making sure I'm eating enough protein. I'm making sure I'm eating enough greens. And I don't eat sugar anyway, but those are the things that people really need to focus on right now is their diet. And I keep getting on my bandwagon about this, is that locking everybody up in their house is not good. It's not good to be inside. You need natural vitamin D. You can get supplements vitamin D, but you need that sunshine.
Well, I can tell you, I take probably 10,000 IU of vitamin D a day, and I can tell you, going outside and running, I feel better with the natural sunlight in my system than just taking the pill. Not to say the pill doesn't help, because you can feel when you don't take it. It's not a psychological or placebo. When I don't take the vitamin D, I definitely feel my energy is not as strong.
Yeah, well, same too as eating green vegetables.
Right. What are you doing differently through this whole thing now that you were doing before COVID hit? And what are the pros and what are the cons for you?
Well, okay, as I mentioned before, the training aspect, I was really bummed that I was like, I don't want to sound selfish, but it was just like I really wanted to get on stage, and I had hired a new trainer who's actually a pro. So I was excited about that. So I had gotten into the habit of lifting heavier. Well, working out at home, I had to get more into HIIT training, where I'm finding out that it's challenging me because I'm not used to training that way. Right. So I think after this is over, I can do a combination of HIIT circuit training along with the weightlifting. So that's a positive because it's kind of made my trainings a little bit different. Negative is that I'm going a little bit nutty. I'm ADD. I'm claustrophobic. I don't like being indoors. I mean, at all. So, and I just miss being in the gym. And I had a conversation with, I don't even know who Linda Steele is, but she's a big fitness person. She's got a channel on where she does live workouts, and she's got a huge following. But she had 2 gyms that she sold, but her fear with this is that people are going to go back to the gyms because they're going to learn how to work out at home. I don't think that's going to be the case, because there's just something about being in that gym environment that just gets me motivated. And I know a lot of my friends that are in the industry feel the same way about it.
No, I agree. I like the gym myself. I feel like I've gone back in time to the 70s when we didn't have all the gyms that we had. And we're having to be creative and do these things that we never had to do before. I think it's a good way to implement a variety of types of things to our training that we never did. Do you find your body is responding or looking different with the new type of training you're doing?
Not yet. So,
are you cheating? Are you eating things you're not supposed to?
I would say I've probably been drinking a little bit more wine than I should.
There you go.
But I mean, I'm a red wine drinker, so I'm trying not to overdo it. But I mean, it's just that I think a lot of us are just getting bored, because it's just, every day is kind of like turning into a Groundhog's Day. So I'm trying to keep balance. But I've probably been guilty of partaking a little bit too much, because I wasn't going to drink it all for 3 months because of the show, and then that kind of went out the window. But I'm getting, I'm more on a schedule where I'll run in the morning, I'll work, and then I'll run after work, and then I'll do, what is kind of cool though is that my trainer has on Transy, it's an app, she's got all my workouts on there so that I can do them at home.
Do we know who your trainer is? Can you share who that is, or is that private?
I can, her name's Sarah, she's out of Colorado.
Okay.
And it's Team Element. I don't know if you're going to be posting this, but I'll give you her website information.
Yeah, we'll be posting it if you want to share it. But You've always been somebody that I've always respected, and because you're a non-bullshitter, cut to the base.
Yeah.
No, that's good, because you know what? There's so much phony out there, and whether people agree or disagree with you, one thing I can say, you put it out there, what you believe, and I respect that.
Well, it's just the political climate has been so bad, and now this whole coronavirus thing has been made political. I don't know. It really bothers me, you know.
So you do feel that there's a tie-in to the politic part of what we are experiencing with the election year also. You don't think this is just Corona by itself?
Oh, well, I mean, definitely, I think it's an opportunity for the Democrats to use this against Trump because they hate Trump and they want, I mean, I don't think that they're upset about the economy going down because they want to blame it on him, which is not his fault. And I kind of get irritated with people that want to blame this on Trump, whether you like him or not. This is a worldwide problem. It's not just, you know, here. So it's kind of hard for me to understand that concept that it's his fault, or that he could have done anything different because I feel, you know, I feel and know that China lied to us.
Well, it seems like they're saying that this might have even happened in September, is what they're saying, what they're trying to say now. And let's say that we did know sooner, or we did get the information sooner. We really don't know how to handle this circumstance because we've never been through anything like this in our lifetime.
I mean, who would have thought that this would ever I mean, I never thought in my entire life that the whole economy would shut down and that we'd be locked in our houses. I mean, I feel like it's like a bad horror movie that I'm living. Like every morning I wake up and I'm like, is it over? You know? And I mean, again, I know everybody's thinking the same thing, but it's just that everybody's life has been disrupted. I mean, people are losing everything. As I mentioned before, you know, people that own gyms, the economy is, I mean, I don't know what's going to kill more people, the economy or the virus.
I think more people are going to file. I think more people are going to file bankruptcy in the United States than die of COVID.
Yeah, and well, there's going to start being more suicides. I mean, I think the suicide hotline's got about 300% more calls daily. They were saying something like that, just because people are, you know, losing everything.
So, you know, unfortunately, before something good can happen, there has to be bad before people have a wake-up call. What good is going to come out of this situation? What's going to make us a better society than before we went into it?
I don't know. I'm kind of noticing when I go on walks, I go outside, people seem to be friendlier because, you know, they'll wave. So I think that maybe humanity might wake up to, you know, to that. I think it's made a lot of us slow down. What's crazy too is here in Redondo Beach, when I go for my walks, I notice that the sky is a lot cleaner because there's less traffic. Now, if I had a choice between, I mean, this is bad, but it's just, I don't know. What do you want, cleaner air, or do you want what the economy? I don't know. And that's where you get into another whole debate.
Sure.
But I do notice a difference, you know, with the air quality and the skies being blue with less airplanes and less traffic. But maybe more of us can learn to work from home, and then that might, you know, help the environment and the air quality in California. That's a good thing because people are finding out that they can work from home.
Sure. And I think it's not a bad thing because I think in a lot of cases, people are finding they're actually getting more done by working through their situation.
I mean, again, I've been working from home for 5 years in healthcare technology, which I really like because it lets me, you know, be able to do other things also. But I'm used to it. So it's not a new thing for me. But the problem is that when I'm done working, I want to leave the house and go to the gym. So I'm starting to feel, you know, that trap feeling.
Do you think we're going to ever go back to being normal? Or do you think this thing's going to have such an impact that the way we live is going to be forever thought of? Certain things that we never thought about before, we're going to be thinking about now.
I don't know. I think, unfortunately, this is going to change things for quite a long time. I don't know. I mean, I would like things to go back to the way they were, but I don't know if they can. I mean, for another thing is I was kind of thinking the other day, when are we going to be able to start competing again as competitors, and are those events going to be no spectators? You know what I mean? kind of like what they did with the Olympia this year when this whole thing started. Are we going to watch sports with, without an audience? And how long is that going to last?
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
I can't either, but I mean, it just kind of seems like they're doing the draft today for the NFL
Right.
online,
Right.
So those kind of things are going to be changing, and who knows how long, if this thing comes back, if they get a vaccine. And then that's another thing that's kind of controversial, because how do they know this vaccine is going to work? Like, because they're rushing it. So I have a concern about that. I'm not anti-vax, but I don't like to be over-vaccinated. So anything I put in my body, I want to do research on.
Sure.
Or anything. So before I would take this vaccination, I want to make sure that, it's safe, that it's going to be for a benefit. Now, again, if I didn't have asthma, I probably would just not even think about taking it. But, if you're at risk, you have asthma, you have those problems, you're more likely to take the vaccine, because it could kill somebody with, asthma or
sure
disease or anything like that. So it's tough.
This could be our new flu.
Yeah, I don't think it is the flu, because the people that I've talked to have it goes right to your lungs. It attacks your lungs. And I thought maybe this was kind of the flu too when it first started. But then when you talk to people who actually have it, they say it is the worst thing they've ever had in their life.
That's what I've heard.
And they thought they're going to die. So it's not, the conspiracy that it's just the flu. It's not the flu.
Well, I think what I meant is that this could be like a flu that's it doesn't go away. It's a seasonal thing, and even with vaccines, you could still get it.
Yeah, with the flu strain changes every year, so you really, even if you get a vaccine, you're not 100% protected from it.
Right.
So it seems like when I have gotten a vaccine for the flu, I've gotten it anyway. So. Right. I kind of think it's useless, but that's just me, I
agree with you. Uh-huh. So any advice for anybody that's like you and I, that maybe are listening for the first time, that are going stir crazy? What advice could you give them not to go stir crazy?
Well, just try to keep up on your fitness. Just try to keep active. Because if you're sitting at home eating and you're gaining weight, I'm just sorry, but you're going to get more depressed. That cookie is really good at the time, but then when you wake up in the morning, you feel you're 20 pounds heavy, you're like, oh my God. So yeah, just try to get into a routine. Try to, make phone calls to your friends. A lot of my friends are doing Zoom chats like this on Facebook, or we're having virtual parties.
Right.
And then, just pray we get through this soon. And the less people that are harmed with it, the better. I just feel fortunate that, I have a job right now, and that, I'm okay, knock on wood, but it's scary times, because it's just, nobody really knows what this is.
Try to stay positive, do the best things you can do, eat healthy, get your sleep. It's another thing I can tell you, I'm getting more sleep. Something I've always tried to get, but I have no choice. I'm getting more sleep now, but I am getting more work done. Mm-hmm. I always appreciate talking to you, and I always learn something. Thank you for being on the show finally.
Oh, thank you. I'll come down to San Diego when the social distancing thing is over.
Well, maybe one of these times we could even co-host a show together through Zoom. That might be kind of cool.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'd love to come back.
You take care of yourself.
Okay. I will send you that link to Sarah, and then we'll talk soon.
Thank you, Terri Marie. Somebody that just keeping her head above water and being successful through her health and continuing to work successfully. Thank you for being on my show.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
I'd also like to thank sponsors Attorney King, Amanpour, Indian Motorcycle of San Diego, and the Cosmopolitan Restaurant and Hotel. Thank you so much for everything you do, and God bless everybody.